Today's interview, we're going to learn how to become a filmmaker and starting your own video production company. I am thrilled to be speaking with Musha Bean. Musha is 23 years old and already accomplished so much. Her YouTube channel has almost 20,000 subscribers and has received close to 3 million views already. She started acting at the young age of 7 and has recently created a music video with famous boxer Roy Jones. Musha created MVB Films, a video production company at the young age of 13 years old. Current projects include Dark Rises, which is a new short film featuring many talented actors, and wait till you hear how she actually got these actors to come on and be part of this film. And this summer, a much anticipated release of a new documentary titled Too Close to Home. Her advice is tremendous, and she's truly an amazing entrepreneur. Let's get started. Hey Musha, thanks for joining us today. Why don't we start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, basically, I've been, acting and filmmaking since I was 7 years old. I've been always interested since as a child. And I just pretty much, grew up, I was a loner growing up. And I had brothers and sisters, but they were much older than I was. So I really didn't have anyone to play with. Once my brother brought home his camera from TV's production, I had a friend, basically, in a lot of ways. And through filming, I could, create my own world and my own fantasy and, do whatever I wanted. And it was, for me, a place where I could escape from being alone. And I just kept at it, and I never put it down. And I kept doing it since now that I'm 23 years old. I'm very fortunate that I continued to pursue and not to put down what I love to do. And like you said, it's persistence and continuing to do something that you really enjoy. And so I'm very fortunate to say that I did keep up with it. Lots of people don't keep up with what they do because they don't see maybe the return when they want to see it, or they don't see the results for what they're pursuing for to happen right then and there. But sometimes your dreams take time. But I'm very happy that I've gotten to see a lot of great things come from what I'm doing, and I'm the sky's the limit. I'm pursuing much more things. So that definitely, and also my faith keeps me motivated for what I'm doing in my life.
That's awesome.
At the age I am now. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me. I can talk even more I can touch on. I started editing my own work at a young age too, because I didn't really have people to at a time to help me with what I wanted. So I had to do things on my own. I had to go out and seek things on my own and learn on my own. Some things were definitely self-taught, like filmmaking. I didn't go to school for years at all. First of all, because I didn't feel like it was necessary. I did attend classes and all that, but lots of I didn't want to, classes to be in film school were expensive at the time, and I wanted to go and I, I had other things I wanted to pursue in my life, and I was like, well, it's very expensive, and I know my mother and father would have been more than happy to help me to do that, but I knew a lot of what material they were going to ask me, so I didn't want to be in debt afterwards and paying all that, student loan and all that stuff back. So I decided to do it myself and from what I learned from what school was providing, do and teach my own self. And I did that and got into acting, went to acting school, got, some training in that and modeling. And I just, like I said, I never stopped. And I kept going. I don't take no for an answer. I think there's lots of things, anything's possible, there's nothing impossible. I think it's how bad you want it. And, yeah.
That's awesome. So why don't you tell me just a little bit about Dark Rises?
Dark Rises was actually a dream that came up. It was a dream that I had, and I decided to finally make it. I felt like through all the times, basically all the things that's going on in the world. You have all these, things that's happening around the world in society, and what we see on television that's portrayed, and just things that I think are alarming. So in the dream, when I had it, I wrote it down and I put it away, and I was very fortunate. I came back to it. I was like, I think it's time to make this film. So The Dark Rises was originally a dream, and I decided to make it. And the filming process was, I asked around a couple of the people that appeared in the video, the SAG actors, who they're Adam Ginsberg, Alan DeBali, a lot of people from around the world. So I didn't just want it to have actors. I wanted to reach out other countries. Some people that in the video are from other countries, like Italy and Paris and things of that nature. And fortunately, they said yes, and I was very excited. I had to. One of the actors, Salvador, he's an actor in Italy. He's an upcoming actor. Comes to the United States to do a big movie project that'll be in theaters sometime, I think next year. But I reached out to him. I found him on Facebook. Lots of this is from just reaching out to people and when I talked to him, I had to go through the agent. And I had to convince his agent, why I wanted him to be part. And they said yes, and it was really nice. And so, like I said, The Dark Rises came from a dream, and it took about at least a month or so to actually get done because of the timing to get everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody has to be, has to be free to be a part of the project, and. I was very happy with. I originally wanted to be. I didn't really want it to be a short, a movie long. I was just thinking about a short film because the dream was really, really short. But I decided to, kind of expand on some of those ideas and make it a little longer than, what I wanted. So I'm very happy though that people, I guess, looked past the fact that it was a religious-based film, but the fact that it was these things, these are the things I think about, and you have all these things that's happening around the world, it's like, what if, what would you do, if this type of thing happened? And I was very happy and pleased with it. In the result.
Did these actors actually volunteer, in a sense, to participate with you?
I'm sorry?
Did they actually volunteer their time to participate in the film?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they did, and I was very, very happy. Most actors or anyone, they want compensation, and I understand that. You have to live, you have to survive this world, and I understand that. I just felt like this was going to be make a big impact. Not just, that's the reason why I kind of made it just to put it on YouTube as well. And I put a lot of my work on YouTube. I don't really, I do have other things that I'm working on that'll be for purchase this year. But I do want that project, Dark Rise, I thought it was a very important message, in a sense too. And I think that's why a lot of them kind of volunteered, because they kind of understood, like, wow, this is going to be something that I want to be a part of, or this is the message of it is very impactful. And you don't even have to be a church-going person, or you know what I mean. You don't have to understand it. you know, it's just one of those type of movies that, yes, it's kind of scary to think about, you know, but I think it's things that are happening right now in our world. Like, for instance, there's a scene where Joe Biden is talking about the New World Order and how, you know, that they should have a New World Order that, you know, push this thing in motion now because the world is changing, you know, again. So, and when I saw that on television, I was alarmed. I don't know how most people felt, but I was like, wow, did he really just say that? Like, did I really just hear him say the New World Order? Really? That was kind of shocking to me because I guess no one. I was surprised no one really kind of did anything about that. Like, I mean, like, said anything about what he said. Like, it wasn't like, you know how you see things on television and you just keep going, and it's like, but a lot of these things are happening, you know, and it's kind of alarming to me. And I feel like there has to be a voice or something, you know, to, I guess to tell people, you know, and not just a warning, but to just at least let people know this is to be aware, you know, to know what's going on, and not to be so under, I guess, not just entertainment's good, but not to be just entertainment, you know, the only thing, or TV is like, that's whatever we see on television is the truth. There's more that lies beyond all of that, and I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. So.
Well, so what is the exact business model then of you know, the MVB? You know, obviously you started this as a business. What do you envision as the long term? Like, you know, how do you keep it going right now? Because obviously, you know, you got these folks on. It's for free. It's on YouTube. Where's the business model long term?
Well, on the long-term scale, eventually, I do want to have a studio and all that great stuff, and to be able to reach out and work with other, you know, filmmakers who have their ideas, and, you know, to film it through our company or whatever. You know, I just want it to be a definitely a bigger brand. But in order for it, I think in order for people to know who you are, you have to put yourself out there, or be able to. I think you have to be able to let people know a little bit about you. You know what I mean? Kind of like get yourself out there, market yourself very well, and that's the process. Kind of like that's what I'm in the process of doing, and getting all these things and let people kind of know, you know, what I'm about, and you know, being honest with everybody. You know, so putting myself out there 100%. You know. So right now, that's what, but on a large scale, eventually, I would say in another a year or two, I would say for me, through my acting and things and all that I do, I'm going to take that money that I use for things that I've done, and I'm going to put in part that into my business and make the business a bigger name. So through that, you know, working hard and, you know, as I act and do other things. You know, I have a lot of things I'm actually working on this year that I'm doing solo from indie films, just mostly in my acting career. So I have a lot of cool projects and big things happening, so, you know, soon.
So is that how you fund MVB Films and starting it, or do you do like you know, any side projects currently that, you know, from a production standpoint to help out?
Yeah, actually, from when I started indie films was in 2003. Was my parents? Fortunately, they're very fortunate parents that can provide a lot of things at the time, and they you know, got it started, you know, with the lawyers and all that good stuff, and that right there was the starting point, because I was kind of too young to know, you know, exactly the business at that age, because I'm 23 years old, so
you were 13 years old then. Right?
Say again?
You were 13 years old when you started this.
Yes, my parents they made MV Films a production, and they put their money into it and let me just basically do what I wanted, you know, do what I wanted. They they're very fortunate. And I just kept doing what I wanted to do. It was monitored, of course, by my parents and everything that they put into it. But I got older, I got to understanding because I didn't have any idea of the business side of things. I just wanted to do, I loved what I was doing and showing things. Cause I just wasn't acting and directing. I was also doing art and drawing and things of that nature and painting and things because I can draw very well. So there was a lot of things I was doing, but yeah, like I said, my parents were very fortunate. Even now, but I don't really go to my parents for everything. I just feel like now that I'm an adult, I want to be able to do things, but as an adult, I want to do them on my own and make a name. But they are behind me 100% of whatever I do. So I do thank God for that.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So now, obviously, I see you have a tremendous presence on YouTube. You've gotten a lot of views and all. Do you monetize at all with YouTube, or are you strictly just using it from a standpoint to, like you said in the beginning, to get your name out there with folks?
Well, at a time I had monetization, but I decided to take it off because I've read about more of that. And I have nothing against people making money off YouTube. That's great. I mean, if you think about the people who have millions of subscribers, they're making quite a bit of money every month. Because I was making good money every month myself. But I made another YouTube page so I could post other films out. So now I don't make any money. I have monetization on my page. But like I said, it's just mostly just getting the name out and what I'm about. I actually I've met a couple of people who started out and gotten a lot of acting gigs just from YouTube. I mean, just a lot of things. YouTube opened a lot of doors. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want to, post everything out on YouTube. And I will say YouTube has definitely opened many doors for me, where it might be, a casting call, doing anything like that, or doing, meeting other directors to do things with, or collaborations. And yeah, I just think about, at the end of the day, it's I think a lot of things do work and come together when you reach out to people and you work together. And no one can do it on their own. I mean, it's possible. So.
Definitely, that's fantastic. So, most folks, as I'm sure you're aware, dream about being an entrepreneur, and it's tough for them to actually, move forward. What do you feel helped you take action and move forward?
Well, I think that it's about determination, and not just that, but for me, the steps for me, were I had to in making my movies and things, had to come up with a name for the production company, learn what basically educate myself in that. Decided what kind of genre of films I wanted to make. Do I want to write my own scripts? Do I want different writers or, maybe friends to write my movies? So there's a lot of things that came up to what I wanted to do and things of that nature. Making the steps of making a independent production. But I will say, for me, like I said, I love what I do so much, and it's all about determination for me. Determination, and at the end of the day, that's all I think about, honestly. I don't have I tell young girls, I'm 22 years old. I haven't had a boyfriend since I was, 17 years old. I'm very focused. I don't even look at going out. Going out's not my thing. I don't, I think that's a lot of, although, people get kind of caught up in the life of Hollywood, and yeah, I've had fortunate times to go there and see the life, but it's not something that I'm all about. I think for me, it's about staying focused and making that name for yourself. And a lot of people get there and they get kind of sidetracked, because all the cars and the, whips and the, and all that kind of stuff, that's distraction. So I'm very happy that I'm a grounded person, and I have parents who keeps me grounded and a foundation that is firm. Because I've had a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things, but I've said no because of the image that I'm trying to keep portrayed, and there's, for me, I think there's a lot of that to my mindset is I have a good, firm mindset on. My head is on right, so I think that's what kind of keeps me determined to continue to go and to continue to work and to continue to believe in what I do. Like I said before, God definitely is my strength to continue to, stay strengthened no matter what people say about me or, no matter if people don't believe, what I believe. I just, like I said, God gives me strength to continue, and I'm just very happy that I don't brag about, I'm so good. I just feel like I'm at 22 years old. I will say that I'm very I'm not like most people. I really don't have a social life. Like I said, all I do is work, and that's just the honest truth. The only people that I hang out with are my family, and maybe that is sad, right? Maybe now, but that's what keeps me focused and keeps me going, because I always try to keep positive energy around me all the time. No negative influences, nothing. Not when it comes to something that I want to do for the rest of my life.
Wow. No, definitely. I couldn't agree more. Talk to me about like the early stages. So when you got MVB started, obviously you enter into this. What was something that you learned in the beginning from a business standpoint that you didn't plan on beforehand? Any experiences?
Oh gosh, yeah. And one thing I did learn very, very much, I will say, that everything you have to do is you have to put it in writing. And at a time, because I loved it, I grew up, I just love what I do. I just, I want to help people. I just want to do things and show people my talent and work with people. And never, I didn't really put everything in writing. But when I got older, I learned the lesson. There was this lady that approached me she was at a film production company. I can't really remember the name of it, but she was out of New York City. And she called, and so we started talking, and she talked to me about, she liked the script that I had for this movie, and she wanted to make it a long-term, a long-length film for her production. And she said, so she was talking to me about how that if I just sign this, and she sent me some papers over through the email, and I didn't know. Of course, I guess she made it sound really good, and she got somehow, and they didn't have it copywritten either, the script. So there you go. That was definitely not good. So she got somehow she did the movie, got the title. I mean, the thing was huge. What she did, it got a lot of attention, and she got on DVD, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. I was very heartbroken, actually. I told my parents at the time. I was like, wow. She said, the script, oh my gosh. And so then, decided to copyright everything you do, copyright scripts, and everything, make sure everything is written down in paper, because if it's not written, then it doesn't exist. So that's something that I did learn about the business side of things, and because it's easy to get your stuff taken away.
Definitely. In your line of work, obviously you need to get your name out there. What would you say are some creative marketing methods that you've used outside of YouTube to get MVB noticed?
I think the biggest thing for me, I think it's most people, and it's funny, I will say, most people they find me from YouTube, and like the other day I had like 10 people from Pakistan add me on Facebook. And I'm like, and I just say hello, thank you for adding me. And so, by the way, how did you find me? And it's, oh, YouTube. I was like, wow, YouTube's very interesting. So, yeah. But other than that, most of the time, the marketing strategies I've used were like, say, I had friends who work in the like marketing field, and so I would like approach them and say, hey, do you know anybody that could, market my movie, or just, when I release something or a press release, kit. And so those type of people. So through film festivals and meeting people, networking, going out to, for film festivals and events and, conventions, and just, networking with other people, just being, exchanging cards. That also was a way of marketing my work. Excuse me. I had to sneeze, sorry. But yeah, that was one way of also me marketing my work, going other places and exchanging information that way, word of mouth. So it definitely, so traveling a lot, meeting new people works quite a bit too.
Definitely.
Besides, YouTube.
I mean, it's amazing how you said in the beginning that you got well-known actors to participate just by simply reaching out via social media. So I take it that you're very outgoing.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I think I'm pretty outgoing and a bubbly person, I think. I don't know.
Definitely. So what would you say, to that point, what are some traits that you have that you think, helps you? I mean, looking at your YouTube channel, you've had close to 3 million views. You've got a nice following on Facebook, and, you had the great opportunity of being in a video there with Roy Jones, who I'm a big fan of. So,
awesome.
So what are some traits that helped you, do this at such a young age that, you could share with other folks that they might learn from it?
Let's see. I think, like, it all really boils down to, how bad you want it, and self-will, determination, drive. And I know that I know people say it every day, and they say it all the time. But when I tell people, if you can't go a day without doing that thing, then that's something you love. That if you can't go a day without it, whatever it is you're pursuing, whatever it is you're doing, it doesn't matter what field you're talking about. If you cannot go one day without it, then that's something you have to do. Like, I think there's a difference between talent and a gift. Do you agree?
I definitely agree.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I think that talent and gifts are two different things because, for one, if you look around, and there's many very talented singers, that you hear. But when someone has a gift, when you hear their voice, it changes something in you. You know what I mean? Like, you feel like it takes you and it changes a part of it. It becomes part of you, and it changes you forever. Like, for the good, though. Like, for me, Whitney Houston's voice was such a gift. And I'm sad that she's gone, but it was such a gift to the world. She was unfortunately she took the bad path and all that. But her voice is timeless. And most people now you hear, it's like, wow, it's like anybody could do that. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And we all have our own gifts. So how do you tell somebody to find their inner gift? What would be your recommendation?
Their inner gift, I would say, well, for me, I was fortunate to know that this was a gift from God, and I didn't want to not do it because I believe that God gives everyone a gift. They just have to go and find it. And I think, like, again, like, it's knowing who you are, getting to know yourself, and then once you know yourself, because I know there's a lot of people that don't know themselves, and they're looking to find what is their knack, what is something that they're meant to do, and for me, I think it was just I definitely I don't know, I just knew, I always knew at a young age, but I think for everybody to find their gift is getting to know who you are. Know who you are. Take some time away from people, you know, and get in your own space and really look at yourself and know, ask yourself, what is it that, and you'll be surprised what you find out about yourself, and not what people say about you or what your family say. Go by yourself in your own room, you know, stay alone, you know, kind of distance yourself away from people and figure out yourself, you know, look inside yourself. I think that's a way to unlock a lot of things you never knew that even existed inside you. So I know it sounds kind of complicated. I'm sorry. I'm a little deep, I know.
I like it. What is in the horizon? You said MVB has some paid I guess short films, is it, that will be coming out shortly?
Yeah, I have a project that I just actually I filmed it last year, but I decided to. It was such a good. It's a 47 minutes documentary, based it's a crime documentary. It's a family of 12, true story, and the father, his son killed him. Killed his dad, and it's like the ultimate portrayal. And I interview family and sit down with everybody. It's so touching, and I decided to have that put that on Amazon. So that'll be on Amazon this summer. So yeah,
fantastic. So how'd you go about doing that? What's in the process of actually getting a film onto Amazon?
Oh gosh, what did I do? I actually entered in a film festival, and there was this thing, I think it was online. The guy was saying, you know, if you enter in now, it was like a special or something like that. So I entered in, like, I pitched an idea, you know, the documentary, and I sent him some of the side shots, the still shots of the documentary, and kind of basically told them what it's about and the premises of what it, without giving too much away. And they were like, "Oh, we love it, you know. Can we see it?" So I sent them the DVD, mailed it to them, and they loved it. So they was like, "Well, we're a distribution company, we can put it through, you know, this da. So I had to go through them, and then they took it to someone else, and then somehow they were like, "Well, you have access to put it on here." I was like, "Oh, really?" You know, through this company, and it was, I guess it was I don't know, I think it was just time, I guess, because I didn't really have to, like, I didn't have to pay to do that, actually. It was just I don't know, it was a coincidence, I guess, I don't know, but I always thank them every day. I was like, "Thank you so much, oh my God, it's amazing." But they put it on, they said somehow they had access to Amazon, and then I went through this other website. I can't really remember the site, but I uploaded the film. They have the video file. So once it goes through them, they'll put it. It'll be live on Amazon. So right now they were telling me that it'll be on Amazon this summer. So they have the DVD and all that stuff. So I guess it takes a little bit of time to get it all set up because it's like a long process.
So now, did you actually edit the film yourself and do everything?
I did. I edited it and put it together. I also interviewed the family. So.
And you just simply reached out to them to say, "I'd love to do a documentary on your story"?
And that's the thing about the documentary. Most people don't know that that documentary, I have ties with. was documentary about. The family is actually, this happened to my mother's father. So that's like the cliffhanger. You know what I mean? That's like oh man, this is Neosha's family. Wow, you know.
Wow.
One of those type of things like, wow, this actually happened to her. So this is one of the ways for people to know more about me. There's a lot of layers to my life that I never really revealed. So it's a way of kind of giving the people something different and a little bit more about me. So this is a part of my life, and yeah, that was my grandfather that passed, that was murdered, and I never really got to know him, So for me, why I wanted to do it, because I never got to. I remember bits and pieces about him, but you know what I mean. Not there's a lot of things I wanted to know. So for me, it was more of a discovery of, and I learned a lot. I did. Yeah.
Well, so I wish you good luck with the release of this, and obviously it was probably just a great experience for you on an inner standpoint, I'm sure.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
So let me do this. I want to ask my last question. I try to ask everybody is, let's say if somebody, that young individual that's sitting at home right now, and has a desire to get into production themselves. It's a dream, it's a goal. How would you recommend somebody, starting from home, just get their name out there and start making a name for themselves and possibly a long-term business?
I would say make sure it's something you love to do. And once you know that for sure and you want to do it with all your heart and soul, do anything in your power, even if you don't have the money to do it. Ask around, or ask for favors. Ask someone could they help? Lend a hand, or ask friends, ask family, and put your work into it. Do it yourself and learn, educate yourself. Once that happens, post your stuff on YouTube or anything, like Facebook, online, free websites, anything. You never know, and that's the beauty of it. And I think once you do that and you continue to do it, never stop, just because it may not look like things are coming, or it doesn't look like there's any, there's not light on the other side of the tunnel. I think if you continue to grow and to pursue what you love to do, without, even when you don't have money or you think it's impossible, like I said, ask around, ask for favors, ask your family. If you don't have family, educate yourself, get a small job, a side job, and save up money and get a camera. Do it yourself. Those type of things. There's always a way. When there's a will, there's a way. And never stop. that's what I would say. Never stop dreaming.
Are there actual any resources that you would recommend that are online tools to help somebody learn more about making film or production themselves?
Yeah, there's like I said, there's always, you could always Google it, like what kind of camera equipment to use, or what camera equipment would you recommend? That the experts or even people, independent filmmakers recommend. There's a list of tons of types of cameras you can get that are very, very affordable. And
do you have a favorite?
Do I have a what?
A favorite low-cost camera that somebody could start with?
Do I have a name for a camera?
Yes.
Yes. There's Canons. Canons are very good very good cameras. Starter cameras. People still use Canons. I like Canons very much. High definition cameras. Like there's Sony. Panasonic cameras are very good too. There's a lot. There's 35 millimeter, 60 millimeter film. those are for like the bigger kind of movies. But there's so many. Let's see, a starter camera HD would be, my first starter camera was actually a JVC HD Handycam. And that was my first, actually, camera for me that I was using myself, not my brother's camera. The TV production camera was way huge. It was a really professional camera. But my first starter camera was a JVC HD Handycam. And I made tons of short films and movies on that, and I actually played all the characters myself when I was younger. So yeah, it was
Wow. And how about like a resource and online tool? Is there any recommended? Like I particularly love the site. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, creativelive.com, where it teaches folks a lot about photography and how to film and how to edit. Are there any other, and it's a free site for folks, any other sites that you know of out there like that where folks could, teach themselves at night or after school?
Yeah, IndieMogul is a great site. They're actually on YouTube. These guys are IndieMogul. It's an internet-based video webcast. Like it's geared towards the independent filmmaking, all that kind of stuff. It has it is hosted on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. They have tutorial videos, how to do it, how to get started. I mean, they're great. A lot of people that I know checked out those guys, and they've been on YouTube since 2007. So they're big company now. They have over, they have like millions and millions of followers. Great guys.
Okay, folks, so that's going to be a wrap, and I want to thank Musha for taking time out of her busy day to just share tons of pearls of wisdom here. Her motivation, determination, her focus is just absolutely incredible. I think she offered just great advice to everybody on, eliminate the negatives in your life, number one, and number two, don't be afraid to reach out to folks and just simply ask for help. You'll be amazed at what folks are willing to do. If you've got questions, if you need somebody's help, go out there, ask for it. I encourage everybody to check Misha's site out at mvbfilmproductioninc.blogspot.com, and I'll link up to that in the show notes below. And also friend her on Facebook. Let's support her this summer when her documentary comes out. We really appreciate her sharing this story with us. And folks, I wish you all great entrepreneurial successes. Take care.
Left